press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our grammar class. Okay, in the previous class we have started parts of speech and we have completed the very first part of speech, that is noun. I have told you about parts of speech. Parts of speech means words are divided into 8 categories according to the function, according to the word they do in a sentence, that is called as parts of speech. So, some words will tell the name, some words perform the action, some words will show the position, some words will join the words, some words will express the emotions. In that way, many English language, it has thousands of words. All those words are divided into different types, 8 categories, that is what as parts of speech. Noun means you have come to know it's a naming word and we have come to know about that, about noun and its 5 kinds. Okay. Second parts of speech is pronoun. So, noun means namapada, right? In Kannada we say as namapada. Pronoun means sarvanama, right? Pronoun means it is a word used instead of noun. What we do is we write a paragraph. Example, I will tell you one paragraph here. Rama is going to forest. Rama is searching for the food. Rama is wandering in the forest. Rama suffered in the forest. Rama roamed in the forest. Rama wandered in the forest. Rama went behind the deer. So, the paragraph, it is somewhat odd, right? Again, Rama, Rama, Rama. What it is, we used to say, right? Instead of Rama, what we can use? We can use a pronoun that is he, right? He is a pronoun. Instead of Rama, what I can use? He. Then what pronoun will do? Pronoun, no, it avoids frequent repetition of the noun in a paragraph and it makes paragraph really beautiful, really very fruitful, and it sounds it will sound in a good manner. So as I have told you one paragraph, it sounded odd because again and again I used the noun. Instead of noun, what I have to use? I have to use a pronoun, that is what the pronoun. Pronoun means, pronoun is a word used instead of noun. So, namapada means it's a noun. Sarvanama means pronoun. As I have told you, he is a pronoun. So, we can't say only he. Many pronouns are there. There are many kinds of pronoun. For example, personal pronoun, reflexive pronoun, reflective pronoun, interrogative pronouns, emphatic pronouns, demonstrative pronouns. Many kinds of pronouns are there. So, now we just go with only the upper layer of the pronoun. Okay. Example, I will tell you here. Example, this car belongs to me. Okay. This car belongs to me. I won the match. Okay. He is a good boy. He is a good boy. Why are you looking at me? So here I have written some pronouns here. This is a pronoun. Okay, this is it belongs to this. This is a pronoun. This, that, these, those. Me is also a pronoun because it is an object. It is objective case. We used to say objective case. Me, instead of I scold you. I is a pronoun, you is a pronoun. There I have not used any noun there. Instead of using any name, what we can use there? We can use pronoun. So me is a pronoun, I is a pronoun, he is a pronoun, why are you? You, again me. So these are the examples of pronoun. These words are used instead of noun. Example here I will write, Arun is good in studies. Arun is good in studies. He scored good marks. Okay. So here I have used one pronoun. Which is the pronoun here? He is a pronoun. So instead of Arun, what I have used? I have used he. Right. So what it does, pronoun, it is used instead of noun and it avoids the frequent repetition of noun in a paragraph and it makes the paragraph very meaningful and very fruitful. That is what called as pronoun. Okay. Have you understood? Here I will write some more examples for your understanding. I will write here. So even the objective pronouns, I have told you many types of pronouns are there. Example, personal pronoun. Let's deal with that in the coming sessions. Okay, personal pronouns. Which are the personal pronouns here? I. Okay, plural of I is we. You. Plural of you is you only. Your. Yours. Yourself. Okay, he, she, it, him, her, himself, herself. Here I have left one. I, my, me, mine, myself. Okay, ours, ourself, they, them, themselves. So in this way, many pronouns are there. These are the words which are used instead of noun. Example, I will tell you. Priya is going to Bangalore. She is going to settle there permanently. She is very hard worker. See, observe here. Instead of Priya, what I have used? She. Tiger is an animal. It is a ferocious animal. Instead of tiger, what I have used? I have used it. Right? If it is a thing, then what you can use? It, itself. It's, right? Piano. Instead of piano, what I can use? It. That piano plays well. It plays well. Computer. Noun. Instead of computer, what I can use? It. Right? Right? No? Instead of, if I just want to tell my name. My name is. My is a pronoun. My name is Asha. I am working here. I is a pronoun. Instead of my name, I can use again and again using my name, I can use I there. Right? This is what? The pronoun. Pronoun means it is a word used instead of noun. It avoids frequent repetition of nouns in a paragraph and it makes a paragraph very meaningful. It sounds the paragraph very fruitful, we can say. Okay, so here I have written some of the examples, and in the coming sessions let's go with the personal pronouns. I have told you there are many kinds of pronouns. Example, personal pronoun, relative pronoun, reflexive pronoun, emphatic pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, interrogative pronoun. Many kinds of pronouns are there, but what you have to learn here, just you should be able to identify the pronoun. Now it is the basic, so that you just identify the pronoun. Okay. Okay. So let's move towards the next parts of speech. that is verb. See verb now? Verb, it is really very important and we call it as the heart of the grammar. What it is? Heart of the grammar. So how we human beings, we have the heart. Heart is the most important organ in our body. In the same way, verb, it is the most important part of speech, and it is very important because it tells us about the time and it fluctuates according to the time. How the time it varies, verbs will differ. If you come to know thoroughly about verb means, and you will be able to speak very fluently in English. You should come to know at what time the verb, how it will change, how verb changes according to the time. Then you can speak very easily. Okay. So verb means third parts of speech. Verb. See, verb means it is an action word. You know from your primary classes, you have come to know that verb means it is an action word. And you used to say, give some examples for a verb means you will tell jump, run, eat. Like that you used to say from the primary classes. You know about this. And now we will just move towards some what we can say. Some more thing, we will come to know about some more information regarding the verb. As I have told you, verb is an action word. What it shows? It shows an action in a sentence. Okay. So I will write here verb. What is verb? Verb is an action word. Verb is an action word. It shows, it denotes an action and also state of being. Okay, so here I have written the definition here. Verb is an action word. It denotes an action, and it also tells the state of being. What it tells? It tells the state of being. See, many verbs are there. So, example, you have come to know about auxiliaries. Auxiliaries means helping verbs, right? You have come to know which are the helping verbs means. You will tell am, is, are, was, were, do, does, did, have, has, had. These are the primary verbs, right? Auxiliaries, you know, auxiliaries are of two types: primary auxiliaries, modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries, which are those? Primary auxiliaries, primary helping verbs. Am, be form. Am, is, are. For the past means was, were. Do form. Do, does. Past means did. Have form. Have, has. Past means had. In the same way, modal auxiliaries are there. Will, would. Shall, should. Can, could. May, might. Must, ought. Need to. Dare to. Have to. Assess to. So these are the auxiliaries you already know. And there is one more bifurcation: transitive verb and intransitive verb, right? So regular verbs and irregular verbs, we will deal with that in the coming sessions. Now you just come to know about the verb and its form. So as I have already told you, verb now it is derived from the Latin. It is derived from the Latin word verbum. Verbum. So it indicates an action. Okay. So you can't say only jump is the verb. Jumping, that is also a verb. Jumped, it is also a verb. So there are 4 forms of the verb. How many forms are there? There are 4 forms of main verbs. I have told you about auxiliaries, that is helping verbs. Those helping verbs help these main verbs. Verb means an action word. There are 4 verb forms. I will write here. present, present form, past form, past participle, okay, present participle. So in short we call these verbs as verb first form. What we call verb first form as V1 form, V2 verb second form, verb third form, verb fourth form. So these are the four forms of the verb. These are the main verbs. Which are these? These are the main verbs. So I will write here one verb here. So you are very familiar with this. Again I am telling you, I am just brushing up your knowledge. Okay. So I will write here as what? Drink I will write. Okay. Drink. This is the verb first form. Second form, drank. Third form, drunk. And the fourth form, drinking. So these are the main verbs. Which are these? These are the main verbs. When I just want to say about the present means, I have to say I drink. If the work is already over means, then I have to say I drank. Okay. If the work is over, and it is what we can say, the work is already over. Now itself I have finished the work. If I have finished that work now itself, then I have to use this verb. I have drunk. I am drinking. So if the work it is going on means I am drinking. If it is going on in the past means you can use I was drinking. Okay. So these are the four main verb forms. I will write two more examples here. Drink, eat, ate, eaten, eating. Okay. Then write, wrote, written, writing, read, read. So here spelling doesn't change, only the pronunciation will change. Okay. So here observe the verbs here. Here again and again I have used ing. What I have used? I have added ing to the base form of the verb. Then we can call it as also as ing form. So this verb it is also called as ing form, and it is used as en participle. So past participle it is also called as en participle. Present participle is also called as ing form. So here I have written four examples here. I have told you verb it is an important concept. Verb it is like a heart of the grammar. Verb it fluctuates according to the time. It changes, it varies according to the time. So when you come to know about these verbs, then you can come to know very easily further concepts. Coming concepts will be very easy for you if this basic concept is clear. Okay. So here you can ask, so auxiliaries means, verb forms means, how it will be? See, those auxiliaries means helping verbs. Those primary verbs and modal verbs will help these main verbs in a sentence. These main verbs in a sentence. Example, I will tell, I drink, I drank, but I can't say I drunk or I drinking. Without the helping verbs, we can't use these two forms. We call it as handicapped forms. What we call it as handicapped, because these two forms, past participle and present participle, when we are using these words in a sentence, these words need helping verbs. I have told you, I eat, I ate, I eaten is a wrong sentence. I have eaten or I had eaten, it is a perfect sentence. Have, had, it is a helping verb, right? I am eating, I was eating. So that only I have told you. These two forms are like handicapped, because these two forms, whenever we are using these two verbs, before that we have to use, what we have to use? We have to use helping verbs. See, verbs are very important because there is no sentence. We can't use any sentence without verb. No sentences exist in the language without verb. Even a subject and a verb will be enough to complete its sentence. For example, I tell she swims. Okay, this is enough, right? Here what you got? She is the subject. She is the subject. I have told you. Subject means one who does an action. Object means one who receives an action. The action, the effect of action will be on the object. Okay. What is the subject? Subject means one who does an action, one who performs an action. Object means one who receives an action and the effect of the action falls on the object. Okay. Here, she swims is enough to complete its sense. She swims. Complete sentence. I have told you, there is no sentence. We can't use any sentence without a verb. No sentences exist without a verb. Here we can use look. Look is an example of verb, right? Look is enough. Look, we used to say, it is a verb. It completed its meaning. Is that so? In the same way, verb, it is very important. So, today you have come to know about 4 forms of the verb. These are the main verbs. And auxiliaries, what they do? They help these main verbs in a sentence. Okay, I will write one example here. I will write here one example. I am teaching. Okay, I am teaching. Here I will write, I am a teacher. See here, in this sentence you can find I is the subject. Is that so? I is an example for pronoun. Am is a helping verb, right? Here it is not used as a helping verb. Here it is performing the function of a main verb. I am a teacher. Here the helping verb, it is performing as a main verb. Okay, I am a teacher. She is a student. Is a helping verb and there is performing the function of main verb. They are friends. Are is a helping verb. I will is a helping verb, modal verb, right? Here I have used here am along with the verb. Teaching is a verb, right? Teaching is the present participle, 4th form of the verb teaching, and am is supporting this. Am is helping the main verb here. I am teaching. Am is the helping verb, teaching is the main verb. Am is a primary verb. Okay, in this way verbs work. Okay, so I think you have come to know about this concept. Have you understood? Okay, fine. One more thing, you have to understand these forms: present form, past participle, present participle. You can call it as verb first form, verb second form, verb third form, verb fourth form. Verb third and fourth form, what those verbs need? Those verbs need helping verbs. Without helping verbs, we can't use these 2 verbs. Okay, and this one is also called as en participle, because many of the past participles are formed using en. Okay, many of the past participle, and present participle, it is also called as ing form. What it is called as ing form, because in every present participle we find ing. Ing is added to the base form of the verb only. What you have to do? When you write the present participle form, only you have to add ing to the base form of the word, not like drinking or drunking. So what you have to do? You have to add ing to the base form of the verb. Drinking, eating, not eating, eatening. Writing, not wroting or writtening, like that. So what we have to do? We have to add ing form to the base form of the verb to frame the present participle form. Is that clear? Okay, so this is not at all completed. The pending work is there. In the coming classes, again we will deal with the same concepts, and when we discuss about the tense, then we will discuss again regarding these verbs. So once again I repeat, verb means it is an action word. So one more sentence I have left here. See, I will write here, they have been, gone, they. Okay. See here, I have told you the state of being. I said, for example, car is being brought. Okay. So in the beginning, I have told you the state of being. Okay. So here, these three are the verbs. Is being. I have told you in the definition. Verb is an action word. It denotes the state of being. Okay. Is being is also a verb. Brought is also a verb. Brought is a main verb. Is being is a helping verb. Have been is also a verb. It is a primary verb. Gone is the main verb. Okay. So you can't say like that. When you listen to the grammar class, if you find difficulty, you really find a difficulty in understanding grammar concepts. So you should work through that. Only when you work in the grammar, when you use those words in the sentences and when you think, then only you will come to know about the grammar. So grammar is a part of mathematics, we can say. What it is? It is a part of mathematics. Only when you work through that, only when you use the words in a sentence, when you think, you have to imagine this word is that, and we have to use here, this verb is a present form, we have to use here. Here I have to talk about the past, I have to use the past verb. Here I am telling about the continuous, I have to use the ing form. In that way you have to think. So that only in the beginning I have told you. Nowadays what you have to learn? You have to learn functional grammar. So you should use those words in your function, in your work. Okay. I hope you have understood. Today let's stop this session. We will meet in the next class. Okay. Thank you.